Hello and welcome back to my channel again. The Lonesome Dungeon Master as I play through my solo Advanced Dungeons and Dragons campaign titled No Regret in Ket. If you'll recall, the last time we left off, we were making our way farther into the first level of the Dungeons of Tarush. We came across some orcs, 7 orcs, which were in sort of this large chamber here that had tapestries on it and frescoes, and they had a chest of gold, and things went really well. They were excited to see us. They are connected with the orcs who were guarding the bridges over here. In the first side, we met them here, and they let us pass through because of the sort of the rebellion that's going on, or starting to go on, between the factions of the Broken Bone Orc tribe. So we made our way here into this large room, and things went really well with these orcs. Anyways, we left here with the intent of doing one more room, and as we say, as often is said in any sort of role-playing game or Dungeons and Dragons or any game, one more room is never a good idea, especially when you're getting towards the end of your energy levels, when you're getting towards the end of your resources. But I said it anyways. I just wanted to get one more room in, and we went down here and through this room, and this 30 by 40 foot rectangular room with a secret door on the east side. And well, we haven't rolled surprise yet, but surprise to me, there are 9 elves in here. So that's where we start today. There are 9 elves in this room that we're coming into. My idea, I believe my idea, and the team anyways, is just trying to get out of here alive and lug some gold coins back to Lorabas, and get a rest and recuperate, and figure out plans about what we're going to do next. But as it stands right now, we are now standing in a room. Now this is a 40 by 40, so we'll forget about these here, but that's the size of the room. We're going to be coming in here at the top. That's where the door was. And so as we come in, our marching order, like so, will be Farouk, the young, idealistic strategist of the group, and the hothead Mumala half-orc, who has, turned out to be very helpful with the group because he is negotiating with the orcs quite splendidly, I might say, to this point. But here we are with no orcs in sight, and we're walking into this room, and there are 9 elves in this room. Interestingly enough, I didn't collect many elves when I was growing up, for whatever reason. Anyways, I don't have many elves. I think the closest one that I think I can come to here is this one. It's got a bow, little green tunic, and fancy Robin Hoodie type hat. So that will be, if we're looking at the elves themselves, or trying to visualize them, this will be our our ideal state right now. So that's gonna be our main one, and the only one, I suppose, that we'll get. The secret doors down here, I don't know if all of them will be in here, but here's another one. But he's a ranger, so the green motif continues here. I do have another elf, just more of a high elf, with a bow and scale mail. And then I'll just like fill out the rest with sort of humans, and then like can't tell that they're humans because they're half covered up. So yeah, we'll put 6 on the board here. Maybe 3 more will be coming through through a door over here. So we got to do check for surprise, roll initiative, and then reaction checks. Now let's find out where these elves are from. What kind of elves they are. If we go back to our monster manual here, open it up to the elf. The elf one. I probably could have done this better if I had. Let's just move this over here. All right. The elf listing in the monster manual. So if you read deeper into it, like there's the bog standard elf, which would be a high elf, I believe. And then there's the various offshoots of the elves, or the aquatic elves. There's no way that these are going to be aquatic elves. I don't think. There's the drow, which don't really come into play until the Fiend Folio in terms of stat blocks and things like that. But we are underground. This would be a very rare occurrence. Right? The gray elf, which is like higher than the high elf, they're the noble elves and the rarest and most powerful of their kind. Higher intelligence, and they typically live 1,500 years. There's half elves. We're not going to have a group of half elves. And then there's a wood elf. They're more neutral than the other elves. They're unusually strong for elves because they're out in the woods, but not quite as intelligent. Right. So they speak with woodland and languages too, but that's not pertinent for this thing, this encounter, I suppose. So I've gone and sort of mapped out, what are the likelihood of being what kinds of elves, just to build out sort of who's under here. And I know, like, if you look at the Greyhawk box set, they don't really tell about the kinds of elves that would be in Ket. So I'm leaning on the monster manual for that sort of information. But here we go. So I have, we're going to roll a d20. On a 1, it will be drow, because it's highly unlikely that it's drow. On a 2 to 5, it'll be gray elves, because they're the noblest and the rarest of the elves. A 6 to 10 will be wood, and 11 to 20 would be high elves. What we're saying is our bog standard high elves. So let's go and find out what kind of elves these guys are. 18, so they are your bog standard high elf. Which is, guess things won't be modified all that much. So I think we're gonna go with like a suitably some kind of Tolkien-esque or D&D type name, maybe even an ElfQuest name or something like the Shannara series elves. I'm gonna go with Dane Swiftbow is his name. Do that spelling with a Y and an E that makes it a little more exotic. So Dane Swiftbow is the leader of this group. Okay, and they are high elves. So now it's time to determine initiative. It's interesting to note too that just because they're elves or dwarves or halflings that we come across as random encounters in dungeons, it's not to say they're all super good and nice and fun to be around. So these guys, typically, especially since they're in a dungeon complex that is, the home or the lair of a tribe of orcs, necessarily think they're here for tea time or to frolic by any underground rivers or ponds. I think they're here for a reason. We'll find that out in a second. Actually, I have the reasons here. We'll do 100 before we figure out the surprises. Okay? So, as always, the greens are the 10s and the reds are the 1s. Why are they here? Here are the reasons. They're here to raid, they're here for vengeance, they're exploring, and they're searching for something. 0, 4. They're here to raid. Okay, so this is probably going to put them in a less of a negotiable area. Okay, so they're here, they're gonna raid this dungeon, clean it, hopefully clean it of some orcs. Probably not all of them, there's only 9 of them. A reconnaissance mission, maybe there's some young elves. For as far as young goes, they're probably about 100 each, I would say. Let's say they're around a century old, and they're coming out here to do sort of you know, like a shearing ceremony or something that proves that they're now moving into adulthood. And what do? You raid against your sworn enemies from the dawn of time. So that's what they're doing here. This is going to be interesting. So okay, they're the black ones. We're the white one. See who's surprised, if anybody's surprised. Nobody's surprised. That's 3 and 3. Okay. Then we'll go with initiative. That's a 6 for us and a 1 for them. So we get the initiative. What are we going to try and do here? Mumala is not having it. I would think that our friend Farouk has grown up probably grown up on ideals of, like, you know, magical elves and that they're all good people. But of course his mind hasn't been changed, but coming down here, working with a half orc, meeting some orcs and having good sort of intentions with the orcs' intentions. I wouldn't say they're good, but they haven't fought, so they're all semi-agreeable right now. So we have a moment to figure out what we're going to do, because we got initiative. And I think we sort of move like this way in. Zawara is going to come in here. We all sort of come in here because we got the initiative. Zawara is going to come in here, and he will talk from the back row because he's our mouthpiece or negotiator when it comes to non-humanoid type creatures. So we got the demi-humans here, and he's gonna do his best to negotiate with them and say, we're here, you know, going through this ancient dungeon. We're looking for, you know, documents, objects, artifacts that may tell us the story of what happened here in this dungeon, however long ago, prior to the cataclysm, the twin cataclysms that brought the Suel and the Baklunish empires migrating across Western Oerth, or Eastern Oerth, I suppose, in the Flanass. And we're trying to pick up information about who lived here in this dungeon and what it was for, because there are historians that are of, you know, it's of great interest to them, and sort of the community that we live in up in Lorabas. Have you heard of Lorabas? I'm not sure if you have, but these elves would come from, I would think from like the woods over here. They'd come through the mountains and down here into the sort of the Badlands to raid. So I would say they're up and around here somewhere. So they're not that far from Lorabas. So maybe I've heard of it, but they hide out in there. So let's say there's a likelihood that they've heard and are aware of Lorabas, but they are young elves. They don't leave very often. So let's say there's a 30% chance that they've heard of Lorabas, and then we'll go green 10s, 30 and lower, Lorabas. Nope. 55. Okay, so that does not, they've not heard or they're not aware of Lorabas. Dane Swiftbow says, oh, it's a human settlement, I suppose, and pretty new. He's like, I was born, well, he doesn't know. They don't think it's been around that long because they're not aware of it. So that's not that good. So let's get into reaction rolls for this. Well, the distance, they're going to be at the back of the room. You're supposed to roll for distance, but that's fine. So it's time to delve deep, not deep, but into the Dungeon Masters again. Dungeon Masters Guide again. Page 63. Page 63. Here we go. So Zawar has a 10% bonus to his reaction roll, but they're here to raid. Oh, they're not in a great mood, so let's make it a wash. Let's make minus 10%. Yeah, I guess they're not. I think I'm minus 20%, I'm gonna say. Minus 20%. Plus his plus 10%, which will be a total of minus 10%. Okay, Zawar. So we want, well, we want as high as possible. Minus 10% total. 77 minus 10 is 67, which puts us in uncertain, but 55% prone towards positive. Okay. Five and enter, 11. They are positive. Wow. We turned the tide. That is surprising. We're going to be like our adventuring group is going to be known as the negotiators. Jeez. Positive. So, we let them know that this, I don't know how familiar you are with this dungeon, but they're not, because this is just like, they found the dungeon. Oh, maybe they followed some orcs back here, but they found the dungeons, and they don't know how many orcs are actually in here, but they've been like sort of charged to do this. It is a matter of pride and a matter of it's a matter of pride, but it's also a matter of principle, because they are not sort of friends with the orcs. But they are positive towards us. And we are telling them that there are lots of orcs here, and I don't know if this is a good opportunity to come in here. And maybe, so like the negotiation is ongoing. So there's a round of us negotiating. Well, I guess that was the first round was talking. And the second round is prone towards positive, and then became positive. And so then there's another turn that happens as they talk more. And we try to like sweeten the low. We tell them about there's sort of like a rebellion going on in this broken bone orc tribe at the moment, and the ones that are beyond the door behind us this way are the ones that are trying to overthrow the current decadent and savage other part, main part of the tribe with the chieftain. So their goal or their want is to sort of like overthrow the chieftain themselves, and in a way they will be, they're going to be weakened regardless. The whole tribe is, but you're more than likely to find interest in taking out the members of the broken orc tribe that is siding with the actual chieftain. Now the chieftain is down the stairs on the second level, we've been told. We're not going after him. He's far too experienced for us. So maybe if you guys are looking to do something very risky, you can go down there. Or maybe you can go back down the eastern side of the eastern side of the dungeon to find sort of people who are who are following the orders. Following orders of the chieftain, whose name is the Cleaver. I mean, that's what his moniker is. It's the Cleaver. But the one who's sort of broken away from the orc chieftain is Rotgut. And he's over here. So if you want to stay with the Cleavers, if you want to go after the Cleavers, side of this war brewing down here, I would head to the east, where you came from, I suppose. And he said we can share. Our map here with you. I don't know where you came from back there, but going here, this is where a bunch of orcs are that are holed up, and beyond that is more. Down this way, there's more orcs that are also of the Rotgut contingent, which, like I said, we've kind of come to an agreement with for the time being. So we think it would be better if you went back east and looked for people that were obedient or follow the Cleavers side of the war. So we'll see if that. I mean, they've been still talking to us. They're prone to positive. So we'll roll another reaction check. And we'll see, we'll give us, because they've been having us talk and they're positive, we're going to remove that -20 because they're coming to raid. And the fact that they stuck with us for a little bit and they heard us out, we're going to give a plus 10% to that, and then including Zoar's charisma, another plus 10%. It'll be plus 20% total. So we'll see what this is like. 60, which is 80, which is friendly immediate action. So they will agree to take off back through the secret door and look elsewhere for orcs that follow the Cleaver. that is a negotiation masterclass, if you will. So I think that went rather well for us. And they're gone, so we're not going to follow them through that secret door, but we know there was a secret door here. So we're going to leave this. So some more talking, we'll say. So that gets us to another round. So we're 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 rounds. We have 240 rounds, or 24 rounds, before our stuff sort of goes out. Well, before they leave, let's not go too far. Before they leave, we ask them to give us something for saving their hides. So there are 9, and we'll say like a third of them. A third of them or half it. Let's go 4. So half of them will give us, and their treasure type is, individual treasure type is N, which gives us 1 to 6 pieces of platinum per individual. Let's say a third. We'll get a third of them to give us platinum pieces for saving their hides. And they're agreeable to us and they're friendly. Don't ask for more. 6, 10, 12 platinum pieces. Okay. Where are we here? So we got 9 elves and we got 10. Was it 10? 12 platinum pieces. Okay. They're still alive. And then we're going to go back here in terms of, we'll go back to the orcs. More negotiation going on. So we go back to the orcs. Then we're going to talk to them again. They are enthusiastically, I suppose we need to tell them about. They're still enthusiastic about us because we're helping. And we can go in and talk to sort of the leader of the group there and tell them that we just sort of stop them from being attacked by a group of elvish assassins looking to raid. So we protect them from that so they can focus on sort of what's happening here in the dungeons and sort of the civil strife that's happening, or civil, but like the rebellion that's taking place at the moment, so they can focus on that. And so they'll be like, they're very thankful of that. And so that in turn, I know we already talked about it, but that in turn says that, and because they were enthusiastically helpful and friendly, they will give us those 250 gold pieces. And we will leave them there and we'll head back to we will head back to Lorabas now because we're running out of oil. So we'll spend like 10 minutes here regaling stuff with them. we'll head back down. So we go down here, 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 and back down this hallway. And as we sort of look around, we know where the clanking was coming from. We know there's a secret door over here. We can come back into that. Things are going to change the next time we come back here. They won't be just sitting around. Now, there may have been war or battles happening since we left, people dying. They're more than likely having orcs patrolling the bridges again. But other than that, these orcs will have dispersed, or they may not be hanging around there. They don't. Things happen. You know, it is a malleable thing. The dungeon and the dungeon's occupants. So we come down here. Like there's a round. There's our 2 rounds because we're not waiting 2, 3 rounds down this big alleyway. Leads us back. It will lead us back to here, this big area. And of course, there's all kinds of interesting areas that happen to be, well, not, there's still stuff that we haven't explored down here. So let's, when we get here, right? So, so like looking at we're slowly coming down here, looking at things. We're going to stop for a second because we know that this area is interesting. Actually, we're going to stop here because there's like no, what's over here, right? We're going to stop here. We're going to search for secret doors all along here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 10 minutes. We'll do it a couple of times. Cocked eye. We'll probably know. No. No here. That's a round or a turn. That looks like a 1 right there. A 1. So we're going to say that there is a secret door here. We're going to take a round. Or sorry, not a round, but yeah, a round. To open that door. What is on the other side of that secret door? Wonderful. They're D20s. D20s. Okay, periodic table. Beyond the door. That's what we're doing here. Beyond the door. 3, parallel passage or 10 by 10 room if the door is straight ahead. Parallel passage. 2 stars, extends 30 feet in both directions. Okay. Get out our trusty. I can't extend 30 feet in both directions. So we're gonna go. This is gonna extend 30 feet down here. it's probably better to, well, we'll fix it later. So it goes down here. I just keep missing. And they're like getting a little antsy. They're like, what's happening? I don't know. So we're gonna move it out 10, like so. And then we're gonna go down 30. Just gives us a better sense of when we come back to it. I know when I was doing other parts of the dungeon, I was like, is this a hallway? Do we have this hallway? So here we go, secret door, passage down here. One, and then we gotta map it. It takes a turn to map the areas because we're looking at things. There's another turn done here. I think the dank smell continues. There's cobwebs on the, but why is there a secret door here? We're looking for like dungeon dressing. Let's take a look at some odors here. It's probably gonna be dank, right? Odors. 39. Dank, moldy smell. So the same as always, but it continues to be that dank thing. So let's go with furnishings general. This is a room though. Furnishings down the chamber. Let's say either magic user, religious articles and furnishings. One to 2 is religious, 3 to 4 is torture, 5 to 6 is magic user furnishings. 1 to 2, 3 to 4, it's torture chamber furnishings. So this is, despite all my attempts to not make it a torture dungeon, it keeps coming up a torture dungeon. 66 is a rack. This is a rack against the wall here. And this, we'll put it here, right? A rack for like, and with racks, I would say, because it's not, you'd have to bring it up here. In a rack, there would be sort of old manacles to hold things down. What would they hold down here? Would it be like undead creatures, werewolves, living things that they want to torture? But that's interesting. And while they're sort of looking at that, we're going to need to do a wandering monster check. The deeper we get, the more likely a wandering monster. But I'm still going to do a 1 in 10. Nope. No wandering monsters. So we're lucky here. And then I think it's time to go home. So we're going to have to make our way back. Everybody's still good. We've got 250 gold pieces. $12 platinum pieces. And a moldy tapestry, which is awkward, but for strong guys like like Mumala, I think we'll be good. Encumbrance, standard items. We'll call this a tapestry. So let's call this a wow. So it's kind of moldy. It's half there, so it'll be half the weight. But depending on the size of the tapestry, small to huge, we'll call it a, I don't know, medium-sized tapestry. Small would be like 50, huge would be 1,000. Medium would be 100. So we'll say it's a medium tapestry because it's moldy and it's not half there. So that's 50 pounds. Encumbrance in gold pieces. 50 gold pieces is also 50 pounds. 50 pounds. Let's dig out Mamala here and his I think it's gonna load them down to about it's gonna load them down a bit. It's gonna move them down to the next. Heavy is 1050. He's currently at 887. We'll give the platinum pieces to Farouk. Farouk's not that encumbered, so we'll give the platinum pieces to wait a sec. So he's got about 300. Oh, he's easily got it. So I'm gonna give the tapestry to the young kid, the young buck has to carry the tapestry, and Farouk gets the tapestry. The young buck, you know what they say. After a certain age, if you're moving houses, after a certain age, you should either hire movers or have young people move the stuff for you if you can, because they have all the energy and the young strength. So we're gonna give the tapestry to Farouk. You know, he's just happy to be out of there. He's happy to have, and he thinks like that will make New Shane happy to see this kind of historical piece of work. But he is now going to currently have on him an extra 100, so he's up to 620. And Mumala is okay. He has 887, and then he adds 12 platinum, so you're looking at 895. No. 897, 9, yeah, 899. Okay. And here we go. So we're moving up at a pace. We avoided the wandering monster check. Check. Okay. So we come back down here. Turn. We come back down here. Turn. Or sorry, round. round. We talk with the orcs for a bit, tell them that we met the other ones and we are into your resurgence. We will help you with that. We did warn them of sort of elves lurking around, but we had we had taken care of them, so we don't need to worry about it. And we're on our way. Round, round. Round, round. Okay. Round, round. They say every 6 turns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. So not another one yet. Just 6, 12, 18, 20. 22, 19, 22. We had 20 more minutes before the lantern ran out. And then we're out in here. So like we said, we went down, we figured it was about, we got here at like 8 o'clock at night, because that's like the evening, all day march, evening. Got here at 8 o'clock. Spent almost 3 hours down, so it's 11 o'clock. It's midnight. We're coming back out. And we're walking home through the night. Mamala's got us, I mean, it's dangerous, but Mamala's got us in provision, right? So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 15. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not gonna make it to here. No, we're gonna make it to here. So midnight. Random encounters. And I get out there and there's like mosquitoes chirping, just like, I don't know, owls hooting. And they're whispering. Zoar is asking or wondering if he should light another lamp. And Mama was like, no, I'll let you know, and then we'll use a torch if necessary, but otherwise, I think. And they start talking with the hall, and we're like, it was an okay hall. We got some stuff, we got more information. Hopefully, this new Shane fella has let, General Hadar know, and he's interested and maybe want to pay us money for the kind of stuff that's going on. I wonder if they know. I wonder if they know about the elves around here. I wonder if they know we know that we're not sure he knows about knows about the orcs Hadar. Maybe he's more interested in the new Shane ones. But I think it's funny. It's funny that well, I mean, New Shane was just like, he's an astrologer, or is he? What is his ulterior motive? I don't know. We're gonna find out though, right? When we get back, if we get back. Okay. I think there's we're at 1 in 12, right? Partially populated. So there's the midnight. And then through the night in the early morning. So we'll have 2 checks, halfway up. So we're gonna go this way, 1, 2, 3, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5. We're gonna 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1, 2 in it's the forest area. I think it's 1 in 10 in the forest area. Yeah, okay. Gonna go through the forest and might come across. That's not a 1. Okay, that didn't happen. So move through the forest, and then as we come up to the hills here, this will be a 1 in 12. No. We're getting real tired though. I mean, we sort of essentially marched overnight, right? We did some fighting at night, now we marched overnight. We come back to Lorabas the next morning, the fortified village of Lorabas, and the guards are sort of waiting for us there, and they see us come in lugging this giant thing, and they're like, "Oh, what have you done with that?" Well, we found some things that might interest the leaders of Lorabas down in some wilderness areas. I think it'd be great if we had that. And they said, "Oh, very interesting. It's great to see that you fellas are still making it out there. You haven't really lost any of your party yet, and you don't look any worse for the wear, other than the fact that you've been trudging through the night. But I would sort of caution you against continuously walking through the night in these areas, because they're not patrolled by the guards at night, and they are a little untamed." And I said, "Well, thank you very much, and we just want to make our way back to the Brazen Monkey, lay down, have a sleep, and sort of chat with some people about sort of what can be gained from the information that we have to provide them, and that should be very interesting, I think." And they said, "Oh, yeah, it should be very interesting. So, good luck, sirs." And they kind of like keep a bit of a distance from Umala, because he's like, he's a ferocious looking guy, and he is like pretty warlike and gruff. So we're making our way back to, once again, without drawing a sword, we make our way back to Lorabas. Next episode, we'll talk about, we'll gather some experience points. We'll talk about what the experience points will look like being in the dungeon. I know there's like overcoming like monsters or monsters in the dungeon through various ways other than just, with sword and spell. But I think that some of these people are still alive, and we kind of dissuaded them. And if they come back, do we double down on the experience points we get for actually killing them after that? So I guess encounters are different, but we'll discuss it in the Brazen Monkey in our next episode. So thank you for watching. We're happy that our adventuring crew is still intact. We do have some wonderful, we have some platinum pieces. We have some wonderful pieces of information to share with the world, and we also have this pretty large, old, moldy tapestry to go through and figure out what it means and who was there, and trying to give out more information about that. So thank you for watching. As always, if you like the video, click the like button, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be nice to see how many people really like to follow the channel. So thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.